So today we're doing a AC compressor replacement on a 17 Nissan Maxima. I couldn't find anything online, like any step-by-step instructions that I can actually use. So we're gonna make a quick short video. Compressor's getting power, but it's not actually, the clutch is not coming on, so it's either clutch or compressor, whichever. We got a UAC unit here, so we're gonna replace the compressor dryer as well as the this expansion valve, I guess. So first thing, obviously, we're gonna take the wheel off. Next step would be getting this plastic off. There's gonna be a bunch of clips. We're gonna get this plastic off. Compressor is sitting behind there. Gonna get these clips off, as well as we're gonna roll this plastic splash shield back over the wheel, and we're gonna see what's next. So let me get these pieces out of the way, just get us some. Okay, so there's the compressor over there. It's gonna be a couple bolts. Just visually, they appear to be maybe 13 millimeter. 2 bolts, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be 2 bolts coming from the front of the engine or a car. So first of all, we're gonna need to loosen that serpentine belt. It gotta be a tensioner. I'm sure this is the tensioner. Okay, and actually I'm looking with the camera. Yes, there's gonna be this 3/8 slot for the ratchet. So what we're gonna do is gonna put the ratchet in there and gonna probably move it up, would be my guess. And this should put some slack, and we're gonna be able to drop the belt. So once the belt is off, we're gonna see what the next steps would be, but I'll try to make a video of loosening. Okay, so I got the ratchet in the slot on the tensioner. I'm just gonna do it like that. You see that the belt is loosening. And I'm gonna need another hand to actually throw the belt off probably off the compressor. And that's pretty much concludes the belt removal on this thing. Also, I was gonna point out a couple things since I got you on here. Okay, so compressor bolt, one's gonna be here, one's gonna be directly above it. There is the plug there's a plug, external plug out there. We're gonna do, I'm gonna loosen this line just for good measure. And there's 2 AC lines coming into it, and I see one line right there, right here. Yeah, it's super tight here, but we'll make it work. But yeah, anyway, so one of the AC lines coming up right here, and so let me get the belt off. Let me get a couple of plugs off and free up a few things. Okay, so this bolt is wide open. It's actually 14 millimeter. This bolt at the bottom is going to be also 14, that fastens the compressor to the block. But this line, I assume it's an oil line that goes to the filter housing. It's blocking this bottom 14 millimeter bolt. So we're going to loosen the 10 millimeter. We're going to completely remove the 10, and also we will I'll show you this bracket here. The bracket, there's also it appears to be a 10 millimeter up there as well. So we're gonna remove this 10, and hopefully it'll give us some slack to get the compressor out and to actually clear that line. Clear that bolt under there. So the idea is, let me get my impact. Shoot, man, it's hard to do by one hand. Okay, so 10 here is gonna be super easy. Okay, it's out. Let's see if there's any slack. Yeah, there's already enough slack, but like I said, I'm gonna remove this 10 right there. Also, I'm gonna need to probably open end wrench or box wrench to get this completely out of the way. So yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna remove these. I'm sure you have enough sense how to remove this. Okay, so by loosening this oil line, it gives me pretty good access to the bolt here as well. Might as well just take it off completely. Wrench is not working with me today. Okay, so I'll get that out of the way. Sorry. Gonna make it easier. All right. I'm not working today. Right, something right. What is up with me? Okay. Now, actually, it's a good idea to see how long the bolts are, which it's not long, maybe a inch 3/4 maybe. But anyway, okay, so I'm pretty sure the upper bolt's gonna be the same. Please note the length just in case. The next step is gonna be getting access to the bolt under the compressor, actually completely removing it, this bolt right here, and then we're gonna go ahead and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a long bolt. So we're gonna remove this one, and there's gonna be a bolt on top identical to this. I don't see much of access through here, but we can actually maybe work the wrench up through there or through here. But anyway, yeah, so that's, I mean, it's super tight, but it's doable. And I think I see the issue with the compressor already. See the clutch piece completely ripped off. I think this might be the case, the issue with the deal. But anyway, so I'm gonna this bolt on top is loose, just finger tight. I'm gonna remove 2 other bolts and lower the compressor and see if I can get access to the AC lines that are coming up to the compressor. So I want to do something before I remove the compressor. I got the 10mm loose from the inside, and now just carefully remove it. There might be spacers in there, which it's not, but I'm looking at, I see those ribs here. Focus. So I'm wondering if the AC clutch is chewed up, which it looks like it's seen better days. So what I'm gonna do is, there gotta be that keeper ring, you know, that goes around, just need to be spread out, and maybe that would ensure the AC clutch removal. Anyway, let me mess with this right quick. So the more I dig through this, I think it's not the AC compressor itself, it's the clutch that is actually shut. So there is a keeper ring that it's like a snap ring that goes in a groove right there that holds this pulley, kind of like this. The idea is like that. They holds the pulley on the compressor, so you can probably hear the bearing is completely done. So anyway, you undo this AC snap ring, and the pulley, just with a minor persuasion, comes off. The next step would be, there is a snap ring, secondary ring right there. I mean, this clutch is done. So anyway, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna use my, hold on, sorry, snap ring, pliers. There's this thing right here. I'm sure if you're doing this job, you probably know what's going on and what tools to use with this. Oops, it's hard to see. Yeah, I think. Okay, so it comes off like this. Just don't lose it, because it likes to jump. Let me see if I need a puller or it just comes off. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. So yeah, so this comes off. There should be a plug out there. I'm gonna feel for the plug. I should be able to unplug it. So my idea right now is, what I'm gonna do, I will probably try to locate just the compressor clutch, because it shouldn't be probably 40-50 bucks, and replace that. And I do believe the issue is the clutch, it's not the compressor itself. You can see the condition of the material itself. I mean, it is done. And this thing, the pulley on the inside, it smells burnt, like straight up burnt. So I think it's either the compressor locked up, or this thing actually, the clutch went out. I do think it's the clutch. And here is the crack on that rubber piece all around. So yeah, so we're gonna find out. I'm gonna install the clutch and see what this does. So we are removing the compressor now. So this bolt came out fairly easily, but it was super tight. So I imagine the bolt is steel, the block is aluminum, and it's called galvanic corrosion when the metals react and the parts of the threads stick to the parts of the aluminum block stick to the bolt thread. So anyway, so now we're trying to get to the second bolt, which is gonna be, this is the first bolt hole, and the second bolt will be man, it's tight right there is the second bolt hole, a bolt, sorry. So what I'm gonna do is, got this ratchet stuck through by the radiator hose, and I'm gonna use a assortment of extensions to get to that 14 millimeter, and I hope it's not as stuck as the first one, because it's gonna require some serious leverage. But anyway, so let me get the extensions right, and I'll send you I'll show you what worked for me. And otherwise, we're just gonna have two lines coming up to the compressor. I do believe it's the compressor clutch issue, but we're gonna replace the compressor because I don't have access to the compressor clutch as of yet, and it's gonna take probably a week and a half to get it, and we gotta get cold AC as soon as possible in this thing. So yeah, I'm gonna show you what works for the top bolt. Give me a minute. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm using, hold on, I'm trying to zoom in, trying to get this Freon line out of the way, because trying to make some room to get to the top bolt. You see the extension sticking out? I'm just trying to get as much room as I can. So yeah, so this line's about to come off. I think got the O-ring on it. We actually discharged the Freon already, and it actually we done it by a special facility. It's called behind the house. So yeah, so anyway, this thing is pretty much ready to come off, and I'm gonna try to undo the top line as well. It should be the large AC Freon line. It's kind of on top. I think we can get to it better from here, from the side of the compressor. But anyway, so I'm gonna get those two lines loosened. I'll send you pictures if there's anything specific or unique about this. But as soon as those lines are off and I already got connectors undone, we're getting pretty close to actually be removing this compressor. Okay, so I got this line loosened and I got it plugged up just so that no trash or anything drops in there. I kind of got it, worked out the way. So now what I'm doing is I'm working through this hole here. There's access. My 1/4 inch ratchet, I am actually loosening. Shoot. I'm trying to. It's super tight here, but I think I can get it. There's nothing to it. I've seen a little worse than that. So I'm trying to show you that. Yeah, so anyway, this is a short tan with a 1/4 inch, and I am trying to undo the other line, AC line, because all I got left is one bolt, one AC line, and 2 finger tight bolts, and compressor should drop. But anyway, I just want to keep you updated where I'm at with this thing. I'm trying to get as much clearance to this bolt as possible, because if it's gonna be tight, it's gonna be trouble. But all else, we are coming up on getting the compressor out. Okay, so just like I was hoping, the other bolt was also a nightmare. Probably gonna be, hopefully that's gonna be the worst part of the whole job, is actually these two bolts. I think they got corroded to the block. So this sucker's there. It's all about getting the proper leverage. What I done on this end is I actually put the wrench through here, and I just pretty much worked through there. But so yeah, so the bolt is loose. I'm just gonna take it out, and at this point all I got left is these two bolts that are finger tight that's holding the compressor in, and then I'm gonna try to pull it out. I'll move the stock line out of the way once I'm ready, but I will include this in the video. But let me get the bolt out. It's super tight to get to. Okay, so we are back here. It's out. There's gonna be one more, and the compressor should probably drop, or it actually might be hanging by the one of the lines that's still up there. But yes, it actually moves around. Got to make sure there is no stretch, nothing is catching it, and as you can see, there is some kind of wire right here. So I'm gonna loosen the wire, finish loosening the AC line, which already started the AC bolt, but the compressor should be coming out shortly. Let me get this wire out of the way. I just want to show you, I'll move the compressor out. You see where the bolts were, the mounting bolts, and here is the 10mm that's, I'm trying to show you. Right there is the line, and the 10mm that's coming up to the line, to the AC line, AC hose. So I got it already loose. It's kind of finger tight, so I'm gonna undo that. And then this hose here, it's actually attached up on there. So use like a clip tool or something like that to get the wire off. And the compressor should drop. I imagine it's gonna drop out from here by the exhaust manifold. But I'll show you briefly this compressor. All you gotta do is just kind of wiggle this oil hose out of the way, and carefully. I'm stuck a little bit. Hold up a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Okay, so it's catching right there. Let's fit. So ideally, we would want to turn it and get it over the cross member. And yeah, this is it. There it is. Oh boy. Okay, so it wasn't bad. Overall, those two bolts put up a big fight. Just make sure all your wiring is out of the way. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna compare the compressors now and make sure. Oh man. Sure the layout is the same. Make sure the positioning is good. The plugs are the same. Let's see the plugs. Yes, plug is the same. The pulley should be the 7-groove pulley. Okay, what else we got? This should be identical. Mountain should be also the same. Okay, bam, 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 bam. Again, we're using UAC. There's the model number if anybody needs this. But yeah, so whew, I'm gonna take a quick 5 and jump back on it and throw this thing back in there, and hopefully we'll be done in the next couple hours. But again, oh yeah, definitely remove these before you install. But yeah, so wasn't bad of a job. Pay attention to your plugs, to the wiring. In this particular instance, I think the AC issue was the clutch. They got chewed up and burned up, but the difference between the compressor and the clutch is not, you know, that drastic, and especially the time to get the new clutch. That is the only option is Chinese clutch. You know, we just might as well just replace the unit and be done with it. But yeah, so I'll be back with the installation. Let me get a quick break right here. I'm gonna make a quick note. What I usually do with the compressor repair is, and in this particular case, I looped up the threads on those two bolts that go through the back of the compressor to the block, just to make sure they don't seize up anymore. That's assembly loop. That should be pretty good. Next thing I do is I get just a dab of this compressor oil. And we are doing this so that, make sure you get the edge. We're doing this so that the new lines slide in there really well, and the AC O-rings don't get damaged. So next thing we're gonna do is, this came in the kit. We're gonna replace this. Sorry, I'm trying to do a few things at the same time. So yeah, so we're gonna replace those O-rings on those lines. The replacement should be fairly easy. There's the line, which is wide open. Oh, shoes, come on, man. Okay, so there's one line right there. We're gonna use the O-ring tool so we don't scratch the surface, the aluminum part. We're gonna scoop it off pretty much like so. Sorry, trying to show you. So just gonna grab it and yes, and just get this off. And the other side, the other one is right here. We're gonna do the same procedure. Gonna get this O-ring off and replace it with the new O-rings. We should be able to go back in. Okay, so now I got the both O-rings changed out. The compressor is kind of ready to go back in. I am not sure how I'm gonna do this just yet, but I'll keep you updated. Again, the plan is like we got the old one out, go from the back, but if it all fails, we're gonna go from the front. But I'm gonna try to go through the between the block and the exhaust manifold. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know what worked best. So I got the compressor in. It was very easy to do. Just go the clutch in and then work the legs around. It was super easy. Just make sure you don't pull no wires, nothing gets pinched. Now what I'm doing now is, oh man, so tight in here. So I'm actually getting this the bolt to the AC line, 10 millimeter. I also put some of the thread lube on that 10 millimeter bolt, the factory bolt. I'm reusing the factory bolt. So yeah, so I got it started. I got the line in. Again, make sure your O-rings are lubed up. That way everything falls in, nothing gets scratched up and scuffed up. So it's kind of hard to see. I mean, it's almost impossible, but what I do is I'll work through that opening right there. And this thing is pretty sharp. It will cut you up. I got all tore up. But anyway, so I can actually feel for that bolt right there on top. What I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna get my wrench with a 10 millimeter and I'm gonna get it tight. I'm gonna get it pretty tight, but not crazy tight. You know, keep in mind it's a 10. So ideally probably 15 Newton meters, something like that. You know, not crazy, but tight enough. Anyway, I'm gonna get that line tightened up. And next step would be getting the second line tightened up. So this line should be fairly easy. Everything is wide open here at the bottom of the compressor. Okay, so that way you get the idea. The small increments, you actually get somewhere with this. Oh man, hopefully this install is gonna be easier than removal. But again, I'm not complaining or crying. It wasn't too bad. I've done jobs a little worse than this, but we are coming up. Okay, it's getting tight. Okay, make sure we don't break nothing. And one more. Okay. Make sure it just locks. Okay, yeah, I think that should do. Okay, so I think this probably hardest to reach bolt right there, which we got it. Got it in. Then get the wrench out. Okay, so again, pardon for the video quality, but I am tightening this upper compressor mounting bolt. Gonna do my best to get it super tight, or not super tight, but probably my guess would be probably 40 to 50 foot-pounds, something like that. I don't even know the torque specs in this thing, just going by feel, which I have enough experience to actually to judge and not to mess up. So should be coming up now. So it'll be probably the last crucial bolt here. And it's actually, I think, getting tighter. So yeah. Yes. So I'm gonna need the second hand to hold it, you know, the ratchet head, so we don't slip. But you got the idea. So this is the upper bolt, and like I mentioned before, I got the bolts lubed up, so it should be good to go. So now, next step, I got the top bolt tight. Next step will be getting this fastening bolt for the AC line, which again, just make sure you run these lines properly like they were from factory. Just make sure nothing is touching anything or rubbing. And so yeah, this bolt gonna go again. I'm gonna need two hands, so it's hard to show what's going on, but I'm gonna reach all the way up there and get this bolt. It is tight in there. Oops. Anyway, you got the idea. You're gonna drop a couple times, but I'll get it started and I'll get it tight. Okay, so the compressor's in, everything is tight. All the 14mm bolts are tight. What we're gonna do next is get this bolt, get this, get this bracket hooked up to the, let's probably need to get it hooked up at the bottom as well to the by the oil pan. But anyway, so next only thing left to go now is the belt and plug up two connectors. It's going to be gray and black connector, and they're going to plug up respectively. Make sure you're not pinching any wires, and at this point I'm going to start I'm going to throw the belt on and I'm going to start the car, and I will add Freon and see where we're at with this project. Okay, so I got everything in place. Connectors are buttoned up back there behind the belt. The belt is in. All the fasteners and brackets, everything should be good to go. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the car running and gonna put, I think it goes for 1.5 pounds of Freon. So that's the plan. I'm gonna get about, I think I have 4 cans of Freon right now, so we'll see what happens. That's the plan. Just gonna check for leaks and we should be good to go. If everything checks out, I'm gonna run it by the shop. We're gonna do a vacuum pull, and then we're gonna actually properly fill it using gauges and this factory spec. But this is the idea. This is the factory 2017 Nissan AC compressor replacement, Nissan Maxima. So it's tight, but it's not bad. I do believe this was the clutch failure, but either way, we got a new compressor, so we should be good to go. I'm about to check it out, get it rolling. And this is exactly what I want to see. Compressor is actually engaging. One quick advice: when you fill them with Freon, you don't want to dump a bunch. Just go in increments, let it work, make it work. So yeah, about to see what happens.